Hello everyone, I'm Michielle Freeman, Realtor with Edina Realty.
And I'm Steve Mohabir, Loan Officer with Edina Realty Mortgage.
And you're watching Tea Time Tips. Once again in person.
Always fun.
I love that we get to do this.
It's
back in person like the good old days.
About time.
Yeah, really, it is. And we have new artwork behind us. We're in our office and we are coming off of probably one of the most interesting years in real estate from both the realtor perspective and the loan officer perspective.
I wouldn't say highs and lows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was
interest rate wise anyway.
Extremes
in
many avenues. So we are in November 2022, and I think this is a great time for us to figure out what we think is going to happen first 6 months of next year, 2023.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
the pressure.
This is pressure and bold, and I love it.
All right, good. I'm glad you're in. So who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I think that we are slowly but surely going to see inventory tick up a little bit. We're already seeing days on market become longer.
Okay.
Please don't hear me. I don't think we're going to have the catapultic swing that it's going to be a total buyer's market, but I think we're going to get some of that inventory that we definitely need, although I still feel like it's going to be a seller's market.
I think the key, what you said from what I heard, was something we need.
Yes.
Talk to me more about that.
Yes. So it's been interesting. So since the interest rates have been doing what the interest rates have been doing, when was that? Like August or September? They sort of went.
Right about. Yeah.
I watched buyers react to that, and they really put on the brakes. It was really about them reevaluating their budgets, reevaluating their needs. Do we still want to move forward? All those things. So that threw sellers into sort of that mind game too, because they were used to, oh, my house is going to sell in a couple hours. You know, the interest rates, it might take a couple days. And now we are talking like weeks, if not, a month or two before people are getting offers on their properties. So we need the inventory.
Which is back to maybe some normalcy though?
Yeah.
You make it sound like it's bad, but it's sometimes good for those buyers who didn't want to be in competition, right?
Please don't hear me. Yeah, please don't hear me that I'm saying this is a bad thing as a realtor that was out there being go-go gadget, working 100 hours a week this spring.
Yeah.
I actually have been very welcoming, and it's an observation, not a complaint.
Very good.
Yeah. So I am looking forward to the normalcy, which is, when I got into the market in 2010, it was a complete buyer's market. So
yes.
I am sort of like, oh no, this is how it was back when I got, not quite that way, but
yeah.
We're seeing a little bit where buyers don't have to be as quick to make a decision, and they're just choosing not to be as quick to make a decision.
And that, from what I've heard, and I've heard you talk about it, is maybe there's an inspection now. And some things that went away when there was 20 offers on every home and things like that, and buyers kind of had to beware, right?
Yes.
So it's interesting. So what I see in 2023, or the first 6 months, interest rates, wow. Like we started at, last year we probably started at low threes, and now we're in, we'll say around 7-ish, depending on what you're buying and down payment and credit and all that stuff. But I think it's gonna stabilize a little bit. And that might help the market in general, just cool off, calm down from I can't afford this to well maybe I can. Let me just think about it, process it, take some time to think about what I can actually afford and go forward. I don't think we're gonna get much higher than we've been. I think we're just gonna kind of stay steady. But if I for surely knew, I would probably be a bond trader.
Right. So, but what I hear you saying is that this is our new normal and sort of get used to this new normal.
Yeah, I 100% say that. And I say it, inflation is there, right? You're paying more for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Housing is part of it, and not in price probably as much as you did last year. Like increasing in price from list price and those things you can talk about, but more in payment, right? So you're paying more for dinners out. You're paying more for a house, right? That's just kind of how inflation works.
But here's the part of that statement that I value as a realtor, because one of my hardest things this past spring was the fact that we were dealing with a lot of irrationality out there in the market. People were throwing irrational money at properties. And I am really welcoming now that when you see the list price, the last couple months, people have been able to stay pretty close to that list price, sometimes even go below. And that's the sort of strategizing that I can wrap my head around. The irrational part, I'm like, I don't know. Like, let's just roll the die and figure out where you want to land.
Well, and from our Tuesday meeting, we had, list prices a year ago were over 100. They're getting over 100% of the value, and now they're just tickering below the 100%. Not a whole ton.
No.
If you're priced right. But that's getting more to normal, which is. Sometimes we need a little normal.
We do need a little normal. Anything else that you think we might see differently in 2023 that differed from 2022?
I think we're gonna keep the norm, and nothing's gonna mortgage-wise. There's not gonna be a whole bunch of foreclosures because when people did get money for cheap. There was still some equity building, right, in the last 2 years.
Can you please say that statement again? Because the number of calls I've been fielding lately of people that want to see foreclosures, and I'm like, it's not 2008 people.
Yeah. So post-2008, a whole bunch of new rules went into play on mortgage lending, and people actually had to qualify for the loans. And people had to qualify for the loans a year ago, and they still have to qualify for the loans now. And when they qualified for the loans, the government put a little bit of a tightening on how people qualify, more towards normal, I would say. And people, qualified for the loans. They didn't have stated income. They didn't have stated assets.
And by that, they meant they just got to slide a piece of paper to the loan officer and say, this is how much I had, and it wasn't really being checked, right?
Yes, was not being verified. Now there's about 18 different ways we verify everybody's income. And truly, people qualified for the loans they got. Now, what you might see in a foreclosure world is high unemployment, right? People lose their job. That's when they don't pay their mortgage. We're very lucky here in Minnesota.
Yes.
We have some very large companies that tend to not lay off a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they're doing very well.
There's that Minnesota nice thing. Just keep people coming back to the office.
Very much Minnesota nice. But until unemployment skyrockets, I don't think there's going to be a massive foreclosure issue.
Okay, so we are watching interest rates, the unemployment rates, what I'm picking up what both of us are putting down.
And that's our predictions.
All right, that is our predictions. And here's the cool thing. I will be taking some time off for the holidays, so we're going to see you in January for the next Tea Time Tips.
I'll be taller.
No, I'll not have my heels on. I'll be in my Uggs. It'll be fine. I'm Michielle Freeman, Realtor with Edina Realty.
And I'm Steve Mohabir, Loan Officer with Edina Realty Mortgage.
And you've been watching Tea Time Tips.